Now let's shift attention to India's neighborhood. India and Bangladesh are strengthening their defense ties. New Delhi has made an offer to Dhaka, an offer to jointly produce defense equipment. This week, the Indian envoy to Dhaka delivered a speech. In attendance was the Chief of General Staff of the Bangladesh Army, Lieutenant General Ataul Hakim Sarwar Hassan. New Delhi is opening new doors for Dhaka. It is willing to share Indian arms, even enter into joint production agreements. You see, Bangladesh wants to modernize its military, and India wants to help. It has extended a $500 million credit line for defense agreements. And this is part of a larger trend. Under Prime Minister Modi, India has strengthened its ties with Bangladesh, and defense is an emerging focus of this partnership. This is not just about selling arms to Dhaka. A secure Bangladesh is also important for India's own security interests. Indian investments are growing in Bangladesh. Therefore, security of Indian projects is something to consider. Beyond investments, India and Bangladesh share a border. And not just any border, it's the fifth longest land border in the world, the one between India and Bangladesh, the fifth longest in the world. It is over 4,000 kilometers long. In the past, ties have been affected by activities of insurgents, but thanks to the close security relationship, there has been a sharp decline in insurgency. So arming Bangladesh will go a long way in protecting India's borders too. Plus, there are historical factors. I'm talking about the liberation of Bangladesh in 1971. India had a defining role to play there. Indian soldiers fought for the liberation of Bangladesh. India trained the Mukti Bahini, a guerrilla resistance movement. Indian forces trained these freedom fighters. They trained, equipped, and provided logistical support to the Mukti Bahini. During the war, the Indian Army set up training camps. They were set up near the homes of these fighters. The guerrillas were trained for 4 to 6 weeks. And what did they learn? Handling small arms, light automatic weapons, mortars and explosives. The guerrillas got a boost from this training. They took control of large parts of the countryside, and they were instrumental in securing Pakistan's surrender. This shared history is the foundation of the military relationship between the two countries today. Last year, India and Bangladesh stepped up their military engagements. Both sides now hold joint military exercises. Bangladeshi military officers have trained in Indian defense schools. There are exchange programs too. But in recent times, China has tried to carve a space for itself. A few years back, China and Bangladesh signed a pact. It was called the Defense Cooperation Agreement. It led to major arms purchases. The Bangladesh Army bought Chinese tanks, its Air Force has Chinese fighter jets, and the Navy has Chinese frigates and missile boats. From 2011 to 2020, Bangladesh paid $3 billion for Chinese equipment. But like most things Chinese arms have been unreliable. Last year, there was a huge row. Bangladesh was unhappy with Chinese tank ammunition. They failed the quality checks, so Dhaka had to reject them. With Indian supplies, Bangladesh could dump Chinese military goods for good. They're clearly the better option. Indian defense supplies are also cost-effective, and there is scope for joint production, which could also create jobs. India's outreach is a good step, we say.